So we do have different services these days. You can look on the screen right now, and this is a number provided here as well. For any of the queries, you can call on this number said here. And the different classes are going on, like PT classes, IELTS class as well, and NATI classes as well. So it's better you can spread the word to other students, and they can also get the benefit of that. And all the classes running these days, they are free, either NATI, either PT, either IELTS. It's like completely there is no cost of the classes. All right, so moving on to the topic today, writing. I don't know why I lost you guys. Okay, so the writing, why this is happening. All right. Yeah, it is both. It is I mean both academic and journal student. The classes for the both category of the students, right? So first of all, when you get an essay statement in front of you, this is the task second of the writing, and it has more weightage as compared to the task one of the writing. Task one is letter for the journal candidates, and it's kind of a diagram description for the academic students. So you know that the weightage of the task one is 3 out of 9, 3 bands, right? And this one, this essay one, it has weightage of the 6 band out of 9, right? So it has double the weightage. So we need to concentrate here more, but doesn't mean that we are ignoring the task one, because whatever score we are getting, that's the club mixture of the both of the task one and task two. That comes out our total score of the writing module. So they are both equally important, provided that this is double the weightage, right? So first of all, when we receive the question of the essay, so there is always a statement and a question part in the essay. Statement says they give us a situation that some people believe that the students should give in the equal play time, right, with the along with the study, and other people believe that no, there should be more time devoted to the studies only. Now this is a statement. Now this is a statement they have given to us, and there beneath a question which says, do you agree or disagree with this opinion? Give your do you agree or disagree with this view? Give your opinion, right? Now this is question part. So always essay comes in the two parts, the statement part, the question part. And it's very important to understand the question, because that's where your task achievement, which is the parameter first for the marking criteria, task achievement, whether you are able to understand the exact question asked in the essay, or you're just talking about something, some other aspects of the same statement, or are you sticking only to the question asked. So if they are asking agree or disagree, so you are just picking up one side, because they are giving, and they are not saying and, they are saying or means that whether I can be agree with this situation, or whether I can. Yes, please. You have a question, Dawn? We waiting for you. You have a question, or you just mistakenly waved the hand? I don't know.
No, I don't have any question.
All right. So I'm just lowering that for you. It's like experimental to look how it looks like. It's just wave your hand up, just like as you have a question, right? All right, so then understanding the question is important first of all, and then analyze the question. That means the statement part, read it, understand what situation is given, then come to the question part, understand what they are asking to do. There are 5 different type of questions they will be asking you in the essay part, right? So moving on, what sort of the different types and everything, that what we will be discussing now. First of all, we have to plan our answer accordingly, right? We have total 40 minutes for writing this essay. Like for entire writing, we are having 1 hour, but 40 minutes will be provided for the essay, and 20 minutes will be provided for the task one, right? Now it's our responsibility how we are managing our time, because there is no individual timer, right? Even if you are just sitting for the computer based IELTS exam, there is no individual timer. So altogether you will be given 1 hour by the watch, by the clock. So it's like it's your responsibility, like after 20 minutes you are moving to the task 2, which is essay, right? So first of all, this is more important. And secondly, in those 40 minutes, 5 minutes you have to think about the ideas, explanations, or the and the examples you are writing in your essay, right? So what you do, are you just planning your answer, taking up 5 minutes? You are thinking of the ideas, you are thinking of the supporting details related to those ideas, and you are thinking of the examples to be written to authorize those ideas, right? So 3 things you will be planning in the 5 minutes before started writing, typing the essay. And after that, when you are done with the planning of the ideas, explanation, and the examples, you have to write your essay in 30 minutes, right? So 30 minutes, so you still left with 5 minutes. Keep those 5 minutes to proofread your answer, which is quite very important for the typo errors in the case of the typing, and for the grammatical, for the spelling errors in the case of the you are writing your answer in a pen and paper based IELTS, right? So this should be your time division. This should be how you are planning your answer. You are writing your answer, you're thinking about the ideas, and you're proofreading the document as well, right? So this is very important. Otherwise, you just start writing randomly, and when you are just writing the second paragraph, suppose an idea came to your mind which is quite relevant to the essay given. So what happened? You have to just delete all the stuff. You have to rewrite that, and it will consume a lot of time, right? Which is not the case here. We have very limited time, which is 40 minutes altogether, right? It's very important to plan early, then only indulge into the writing of the essay, right? Then moving on, first of all, we always write an introduction. The first paragraph is going to be about the introduction of the essay, which is about what you are going to write in the entire essay. That means it tells the examiner what the rest of the essay about, and also answer the question directly. That mean maybe they are asking you are agree or disagree, so there and then I'll tell you how you are embedding the statement as well, what favor, in which favor you are, like whether you are agree to situation or disagree, whether you think there are more advantages to this situation than disadvantage, or the vice versa, right? Or whether you think like the which opinion is what better. So like it's like answering the question directly, and what are whole of the essay will be about, that's come into the introduction. This tell the examiner that you know that you are doing straight away what you are doing straight away, and helps you to write your main body part. So after introduction, when we are just paraphrasing the statement, and then we are answering the question, and then we are telling what we are going to write this essay. When these 3 things are done, that mean we are done with our introduction, first paragraph of the essay. Now this is very brief information. Later on we will be discussing it with an example as well. Then after we are done with the introduction, we move to the body paragraphs, which are to second and the third one. Like we are writing 4 paragraphs altogether in the essay, and the second and third one are the main body paragraphs, right? So this is where we give the more details to the examiner. Now this is the place, the second and the third paragraph, where we are putting up our ideas, the explanation to those ideas, and examples to authorize those ideas, right? So this is like body, these are called body paragraphs, right? After that, the last paragraph will be of conclusion. Oh yeah, sure, I can do that. I can slow down a bit. All right, so okay, this is only brief up, because why I'm just in bit of in a hurry, that because we are already discussing all these things in length in the later parts of the slide. But yeah, the introduction, body paragraph second and third, where we are writing the ideas, explanation to that, and we are supporting them with the relevant examples, right? And after that, the last paragraph will be conclusion, right, where we are just giving the summary of what we have already written in the essay, right? So summary, we have to, I mean conclusion, we have to bit very smart here, because already whatever we have discussed, we have to summarize the same thing in the conclusion, but keeping in mind that we are not repeating the same vocabulary, same way of writing, because that's how we will be losing marks on the conclusion part. And to keep this in mind, that conclusion, you do not have to write any idea, example, anything new here. It's just that whatever you have already discussed in the intro, in the body paragraphs, that's what you are continuing here in the conclusion. You are just rephrasing the same thing, which will be taken as a summary of the whole essay, and in other words, it's called conclusion, right?
Hi, Aman. Sorry
So,
for
hi
late.
Sheetal, how are you?
Good. Sorry with late today.
No, it's okay, it's
Yeah.
okay. All right. Okay, so the 5 most common IELTS writing task 2 questions are, So the questions are, that mean the after the statement, what kind of question they will be asking you? Opinion type of question, like as I'm giving example earlier, agree or disagree. So this is asking your opinion, whether you agree with the situation or you not agree. Then advantage, disadvantage. So they have given that, maybe taking the same example, like they ask like more playtime or more study time. So they are asking what are the advantages of both. So that's why that's the category of advantage and disadvantage. Problem solution. So they are asking, nowadays the behavior is a issue with the like the teenagers, the youngsters. The behavior is a big issue, like they are not behaving appropriately, maybe just because of the violent computer games, or maybe the atmosphere around them, maybe the less time given by the parents to them, maybe any statement. Statement could be in any way. So they will be asking what are the reasons to it, and what could be the possible solution to this issue. So this will fall into the category of problem and solution. Discussion, like where you they will be asking, okay, some believe playtime, some believe more study time. Now discuss both views, like why those people are right at their position, and then give your opinion. So this is called discussion type of essay, where we are discussing the viewpoints of other people from their perspective, right? Now, two-part question. This is very rare. A statement will be given, and after that, there will be two separate question will be written, right? So this we call two-part question essay, where we have a statement and two separate questions, and in body paragraphs we have to explain those two parts only. Now we will be talking about one by one all the categories here. So here, like the first category, opinion question, agree or disagree, right? Now what will be, how can you know now this question is relating to the opinion category of the question? If you have after the statement, if these sentences are written, so that means this particular essay is related to the opinion question category essay. Like if after the statement they have given question, what is your opinion, only one single sentence. Or maybe they have written after the statement, do you agree or disagree? To what extent do you agree or disagree? Or a direct question like this one, like what's your opinion? So maybe in another words, they are asking the direct question. So if you have these question words, right? So that means this essay is of opinion question category. Like this is the example. Some people believe that unpaid community service should be of compulsory part of high school program. For example, working for charity, improving the neighborhood, or teaching sports to younger children. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Now, this is the question, which is the category of opinion question. And the structure here, this is the one you will be following if you are writing the essay for the opinion question category. Now, this is the structure. As I told you, four paragraphs we have to write here. This is introduction, which will be compromises of 3 sentences, right? Then main body paragraph 1, again 3 sentences. Main body paragraph 2, again 3 sentences. And conclusion, there will be only 1 sentence. So in introduction, as I told you, we have to just explain the situation to the examiner. So how we are explaining that? First sentence is always a paraphrase of the statement. So in this case, the statement here is, okay, the statement here is, some people believe that this survey should be compulsory part of the high school program, right? This is the statement. So for as per the structure here, we are explaining in the first sentence, we are just paraphrasing. What is paraphrasing? Writing the same thing with the synonyms, like the word alike words, or with different words. I mean, using the different words, but keeping the meaning same, right? So that's called paraphrasing. So we have to paraphrase the statement as the first sentence. And after that comes the thesis sentence. Thesis sentence means what is your understanding of the statement? What you got after reading the statement? Like this statement, it is agreeing that like these particular subjects need to be the compulsory part of the high school studies, right? Now this statement agrees that this will be my thesis sentence here, the second sentence. Then comes the outline sentence. I just named the sentences, right? So outline sentence called, so what I am going to discuss in this essay. So always prefer to write in the in the passive voices, Like normally when we are writing formally, it is very much required to write in a formal tone, and to keep that formal tone, always prefer to write in the passive voices. Now you know that active voices, I will okay, that's very common example I usually give. I will send you the receipt, right? And if I'm saying a receipt will be sent to you by me through email, so this is like passive voice, right? So passive voice are having more formal tone, so they should be followed when we are writing letters, when we are writing this essay, or sometime when we are writing the data description for the task 1 academic, right? So outline sentence, it will tell this essay will discuss. So what this essay is going to discuss, it will be the part of the introduction. Like maybe what I'm writing here now. Now this essay will discuss, maybe I'm just writing the main key ideas here in this paragraph, right? Or in this sentence. Okay, my key ideas related to this situation is like cooperation and a better society, development of better society. If these two things are added, I believe that this is going to be the two things which will be developed in our society slowly, steadily, with passing years, right? So maybe I'm just writing these two main ideas in this sentence, and this will tell the whole the examiner that like this essay is going to discuss these two aspects further now in the whole of the body paragraph 1 and the body paragraph 2, right? Now the main body paragraph now pick up the cooperation skill, right? So they will be learning the cooperation skill for throughout their life, right? Now sentence 1 need to be topic sentence that clearly mention this paragraph, like this body paragraph is going to about which idea, which topic you are going to discuss, right? So when you are writing the first sentence of the main body paragraph 1, it should be telling very in a very straight manner. Now this is going to be about the cooperation skills paragraph, right? So I just write the first sentence like that. Now how to achieve those cooperation, now how this involvement of such curriculum in the syllabus of the high school programs, how this will embedded the cooperation skills in the youngster, in the children. So now I will explain these in further sentence. Maybe I'm writing one sentence, and it could be one compound sentence, and then I'm writing one more sentence, so it is like one compound, one single, so 3 sentences. So it just means that if you are writing a complex sentence, definitely you can add up 3-4 things in one sentence, and the length will be pretty much good. But if you're writing in compound sentence, simple sentence, so maybe you are just writing here 2 to 3 sentences, 4 sentences to explain the situation, to explain how the cooperation will be uh, prevailing in the society slowly and steadily with the course of the period, right? Then like when you done explaining that thing, then you are adding an example to that, right? So example need to be very universal, as I generally told you guys. So you cannot pick up examples which are okay, you cannot pick up the examples which are person related, like the personal examples from my own life, from my friend's life. We cannot pick such examples, right? So it's very important to pick an example which is quite general, which is quite related to the whole of the society, right? Like maybe we just thinking of an example here. Can anybody put up an example here? Like suppose we are just saying that cooperation, the kids, the students, the teenagers, they will learn the cooperation skills, so they will be more cooperative when they are just having their professional life, so it will increase the productivity. We are just discussing that, and now we want to add an example here. So what kind of example we can put up here? Anyone can come up with an idea here quickly? Just maybe it's not quite relevant, but it's clearly fine. We can just say any of the example here.
Develop the habits or daily routine schedule.
But we have to put an example here.
Example.
Okay, this is going to be an idea,
Yeah.
explanation. Like this can be somewhere you can use it, like making it
Yeah.
relevant to the topic discussed. You can make it as a yes.
Sorry. Just I'll send you the link. Just to
Okay, so there is a student named Srijana. You are here in the class and you don't know, I guess. So kindly tell me if you are here for the IELTS class or for some other class. Srijana, I'm talking to you. Can you please unmute yourself and talk to me? Okay, just in the case you are here for the IELTS class, so this is the IELTS class going on, because as you are talking to someone sharing the link on anything, I don't know if it's about some other class. So maybe you check with this, and if it's about the IELTS class, so you can stay in here. But it's good to talk, yeah? Okay, so example. So example can be here. We can put up an example like we can put up any country example, right? Like maybe you can take an example of the Japan, where they are adding up such slave by, and the society there, they are more cordial to each other, they cooperate each other, and they just give respect to each other. Maybe you can come up with any example with the country where that skill is, or where that thing is going on and it is giving positive results. So we can come up with any such example, right? So that make it universal as well, and that makes it related to every individual as well. So it should not be personal or person related. I mean, till the time person related it can be. How? Like if you know that news is on the television, like it is broadcasted throughout the world and everyone knows about that. Like if I'm just talking about anything which is not good to, which is not in a good sense, and it is being done to the society, and maybe we can talk about that attacks on America, or maybe we can talk about this pandemic going on, right? So we can take such examples, even they are sometimes they are very they're personal related and we are just writing a specific name there. But yes, again, this need to be on the news, or it should be known to everyone, then we can put up with that examples as well. And body paragraph 2, the another thing, like the more suppose here we are just writing in the topic sentence, like the addition of these syllabi in the curriculum will give us the more informed society members, right? Suppose we are just we have just wrote this topic sentence, then we have to explain how this like how these particular skills will give us the more informed society members. So what kind of things they will impart to the students while they are teaching them these particular traits, right? So that's what we are explaining here. And again, if you have another more relevant example, you are adding up here, or maybe you just explaining the topic sentence more, because sometimes we have one example only for the given essay. It's clearly fine, because one example is mandatory. But if you are giving two examples with the every topic sentence, like here I'm just we are just likewise thing we have picked up, but definitely we are not picking likewise when we're writing essay. So we are just writing some another example which is relevant to topics here we discussed in the first sentence, because examples, they authorize your ideas, they give more authority to your ideas, points you have discussed. So it give weightage to the essay. So they are very important, because normally when you see the band score indicator, it is clearly mentioned there, back up your idea, that means support your idea with the relevant examples. So that's clearly mentioned in the instruction of the essays as well. So it is very much important to add relevant examples. Then conclusion, here we are just summarizing what we already written. So this is also we will discuss how we gonna summarize it. And if somebody is asking the opinion, definitely then we are adding the summary and the opinion as well. So the next category of the essay is, so advantage and disadvantage. Okay, Sakshi, I guess. Sakshi, you just ended in the class. Can you please turn the mic off? Sakshi, yeah, thank you very much. And okay, just I'm stopping here for a while. Yes. Okay, so I'm just sharing this again. And just in case you want to ask a question or something like that, kindly raise your hand, because I guess the students here now, I guess you won't be able to unmute you, I think. So maybe raise your hand if you have any question. Advantage and disadvantages question is like typical question word. Like after the statement, there will be few typical question words like discuss the advantage and disadvantage. That will come in the question part of the statement, as I told you for the essay, or maybe these two sentences, right? Discuss the advantages and disadvantages and give your opinion, right? And then do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. So these three sentences are the typical question words which will be there in the essay statement, and you can judge better if this relates to the second category of the essay, right? And like this is the exemplary question, same. Computers are being used more and more in education. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages and give your own opinion, right? Now this is going to be the structure for the advantage and disadvantage essays. It is very difficult to me. Okay, Simran, this is what we will be discussing in the later parts with the actual essays and ideas and examples, right? So just wait for another few minutes and we will be moving to that part as well. So here for the structure, introduction, there won't be any thesis sentence when it comes to the advantage, disadvantage, merit, demerits, pros and cons kind of essays, right? There is no thesis statement because definitely there is nothing like the statement is agreeing to or disagreeing to, because this is not about agree, disagree. This is about merit, demerits, right? So we are missing on the second sentence here from the introduction. We are just paraphrasing the statement and then we are outlining the, we are giving the outline sentence that this essay will discuss. So what this essay will be discussing, the merit and demerits of the given situation. Maybe we are just writing that, or this essay will discuss the actual merit and demerit. We are just adding two key ideas in that sentence and we just finishing off with the introduction. Then main body paragraph 1, state one advantage, right? Whatever advantage of the given situation, state one advantage, then explain that further. Of course, with 2-3 sentences, you need to explain that advantage. Then what will be the what is the example you can add up there with an example with that advantage, right? Examples to that, and then resulting sentence, right? Like suppose if we see if the question is the students should be like the, we just talked about the previously when we started off the class with, like they should be given more time to play or more time to study, where they should be giving more time. So what are the disadvantage and disadvantage of these two situations maybe? So here I'm writing they should be given more time for playing, right? So then what could be the result of that? We are adding up here. Obviously there more time, more mental and physical development, like the motor skills, definitely the kids is going to develop the more versatile motor skills, right? So this is like something exemplary, a result kind of thing, what we'll be adding in the sentence 4th of the advantage, disadvantage, main body paragraph 1. Same structure goes with the second, but here we're talking about the disadvantages, right? So the topic disadvantage, the main key disadvantage, we need to write in the first sentence. That will make it our topic sentence for the body paragraph 2. Then explaining it further, we are further adding up the disadvantage related to the more suppose more study time, right? And ultimately they'll favor the another part and another will favor the later part. So this is how it will be. So don't get confused. Okay, I have to write the merit demerits of the both play and study in one paragraph, then again merit demerits kind of. This is not the case. If here you are writing what are the advantages of the play, ultimately that's become the demerits of the more study times. And here I'm writing what are the suppose advantages of disadvantages of having less study time. So ultimately this will favor the later part. So this is a previous part. So this is how it will work. So just pick up both the things they are talking. If they are given only one situation, it is very clear, very easy, like one advantage and one paragraph disadvantage. If they are just giving two things and they're just asking like this, so just write advantage of one situation, advantage of the another situation. Ultimately they will be contradictory, they will be automatically they'll be telling the disadvantages of the other. So whatever the merits of the first one, ultimately that's going to be the merits of the other one, right? So here conclusion part, sentence 1, summarize whatever you have written in the whole essay, but never you have to restate the same opinion, same things, right? And the conclusion, it needs to be only 1 or 2 sentence, not more than that, right? And if they are asking what are the merit and demerits, and give your opinion. Then you are adding the opinion here. If it is missed from the question part, they have just written what are the merit and demerits and question mark, that's it. Then you are not writing the opinion sentence, right? So this is where your task achievement comes, and you get the mark for the 100% tag, because that's the one criteria, one parameter we can score 9 out of 9, because every parameter is 9 band score, right? When whatever is your scoring for every parameter, which is task achievement, vocabulary, grammar, cohesion and coherence, so whatever is your score individually, they'll add it up, further divided with 4, and then comes your final score for the writing, right? So this is second category. Third one, discuss both views question. This is a discussion essay, like where they give you a statement and then they say this is one thing, this is another belief. Now discuss both point of view and give your opinion, right? Now this is exemplary question. You can see here typical question word and exemplary question. Computer are being used more and more in the education. Some people say this is a positive trend, while other argue that it is leading to negative consequences. Discuss both sides of this argument and then give your opinion, right? So such question will be having this structure. You have to paraphrase the question. That means you are just discussing the both viewpoints in the first paragraph, but never use the same words. Try to paraphrase it with the synonyms, and if you don't know the synonyms, because this could be the possible case, sometimes we don't know the synonym of the every word used in the statement, then we are changing the word order. The later part in the question, I mean in the statement part of the question, we bring that in the previous position, and the like the former part, we're just taking it to the later position. So this is what we can do to paraphrase the question without knowing much of the synonyms as well, right? Then sentence 2, the thesis sentence, like what is your understanding of this essay, right? You are just writing up there, like this agrees that, or this essay disagree that, like what could be the possible situation out of 2, and then outline sentence that what you are going to explain. So definitely you are going to explain the viewpoints of the both set of the people. So outline sentence, you are adding up those information only, right? This essay will discuss, maybe you are just writing that what are the benefits of this situation and what are the drawbacks of this situation, right? So then the body paragraph 1, state first viewpoint, like the computer positive consequences. So here in the first sentence I'm writing why it is having positive outcomes. Now discussing those particular idea further, why, I mean all relative sub ideas here, explaining up here, right? And reason why you agree or disagree with this point, with this viewpoint. Like here you are mentioning what is your opinion of these people, what do you think, you are in agreement to the ideas or the statement of the people, or you are disagree. So here you can add up one sentence here only, and definitely then comes your example to support your view. Then on main body paragraph 2, state second viewpoint, like the people maybe who are saying there are more negative consequences, so why they think. First in the topic sentence write that, discuss it further, elaborate further, support it with the supporting sentence, then reason why you agree. Or now if you feel there are more negative consequence, you can add up your idea here, viewpoint here as well, that why I also feel the same as per the given situation. Maybe you can add up this reason here, and then example to support your viewpoint, right? Conclusion, then summarize that whatever you have written in main body paragraph 2 and 1, and also state which one is better or more important. That means out of the two viewpoints discussed previously, you can also state here that which one is better, the positive side is up or the negative side is more prevalent. So what is the better and more important, right? So these are the 3 categories. Moving on, the problem solution question. Just a moment. Okay, so just talking about these two, and then we will be moving to the solved essays and their ideas. So the problem solution, typical words problem and what is the solution, right? An exemplary question are students are becoming more and more reliant on computers. What are some of the problem associated with this reliance on computers, and what are some of the possible solutions, right? So here is the structure which will gel up with this certain category of the essay. Again, there is no thesis. So remember that in advantage and disadvantage and problem and solution, these are the two category out of 5 where we are not writing any thesis sentence. So paraphrase the question, outline the sentence, outline sentence, give that, this essay will explain, and then state one problem. Maybe they are just talking about poverty, like the poverty line is crossing, like there are more people under the poverty line in the developing countries. What are the reasons of that, and give any one possible solution, right? So just state what could be the what are the reasons behind the poverty, explain the situation, right? And then result, definitely tell what gonna be the result of this situation, this problem, and then add an example to that, right? So maybe you can take an example here of any developing nation or underdeveloped nation where the people are beneath the poverty line or beneath the literacy line. So maybe such questions can be here. Then here talk about the solution. So if they are asking at least one solution, so just talk about the one major solution and then derivatives of that, how it can be implemented or what could be the possible results of this solution, right? Maybe you can add up here, because sometimes they just simply say at least one, but they never write like you cannot write more than that. You understand that at least one, that you have to write one, but there is no max limit on that. There is a minimum limit, one, but there is no max limit. So don't get confused. It's okay to write one solution here, then just explaining few more like related to the main solution, explaining few more into that, and then add up an example of that solution. Like if any country opted up that solution you are mentioning here, or any survey was conducted in which is related to the solution you are mentioning here, you can add that thing as an example. So surveys, example of countries, examples taken from the news. These are the three main things where we can collect your examples, right? Then conclusion, sentence one, summary. And here like problem solution, sometimes the students, they just they feel like we are not up to 250 words, right? So here we just ask them to write a recommendation or prediction, like if this problem is not tackled, so what are the consequences, are they great, are they dire, what kind of they are. So you can write a recommendation or prediction. If this thing is not tackled properly, so what will happen, or this can be opted up to concern to address this issue, right? The rare category, two-part question. So the typical question, there will be a statement like this: as most people spend a major part of their life at work, job satisfaction is an important element of individual well-being. Now this is a statement, and there comes two separate question. It is called two-part question category of the essay. So here, if you have this particular essay type, this is the structure you are going to follow. The introduction, paraphrase the statement, then sentence two, outline the both question. That means outline sentence. Here you are just outlining the both questions. First part, paraphrasing this one. Second, outline, you are just talking about these two questions. You are outlining them, right? Main body, obviously you are talking first question in the first paragraph, like the question to the answer. What are the factors? Talk about the factors here, explain those factors. Definitely you need more explanation because we are talking about 3-4 factors here. Then adding an example here. Just say answer the second question, how realistic is the approach, quite realistic. Explain it, further explain it, and then add an example, and then summarize whatever you have written in the 2 paragraphs and the introduction, right? So guys, these are the 5 types of the essays and 5 structures you have to write when you are writing your essays. You have to follow them. And best technique to gather idea is just talk about, think about 5 WH. 5 WH, that mean who, what, where, how, right? So these all I'm talking about here. First of all, Just think of who is the person concerned in the essay, what they are asking, what kind of things, strategies they are wanting from us, right? And why they are asking to implement, or why they are asking the reasons to that, or why they are asking agree disagree to that. So you are just jotting down the answer. That's how you will be collecting ideas, right? And if they are asking to implement a strategy, where we can implement that, or the person responsible, how we can implement that, the next question, right? So we have to think, like suppose the example here, that the young student, they need to encourage to work or travel between a year. That means they have to take a year gap when they are starting their university studies, after finishing their high schools, right? So now who are concerned here? The young people. What they are set to do, like they need to have a year gap between the both studies, right? And what, like why they should be having that gap? So they can maybe they can earn money, work or travel. Yeah, two things they are saying. So maybe they can earn money, they can they can have exposure of the world outside, they can just have analysis of their inner self, what their interests are, which study they can opt, they can perform better at, right? To understand people better, to lead a good professional life, or to just embed good with the students, mature students you are just going to face in the universities now, right? So maybe these are the whys. And where they can go for work, they can go to the local companies, they can go to the MNCs, they can just opt up for any kind of that prior to work there is such kind of training given, so you can opt for trainings, right? And for traveling, definitely to different nation, different state, different countries, where the countries which are in budget, right? And how they can do that, but definitely they need to have money for the things they want to do, and they have to apply to the companies for the training, for the jobs, maybe for the MNCs, for their project work, maybe, right? So this is like when you're thinking about 5WH in respective to the statement in front of you, definitely you are just jotting down few things related to the essays, and that's what becomes our ideas. That's what, maybe sometimes they are the exact ideas, or maybe they are the ones which lead us to the right ideas, to the relevant ideas, right? And this is second thing, common topic familiarization. Now this is quite not easy. This is the thing you can only understand if you are just practicing with many set of the different essays. You have to do under sports, what kind of essays can come, right? Under obesity, what kind of essays can be there, right? And under the education of the child, what type of essays can be there in the question in the IELTS exam, right? So this called common topic familiarization. So the major chunks are education, technology, sports, right? And crime, and then child behavior, like it comes under the child, and society. So these are the things, these called the major topics, and under them there are different set of the essays which can come. But you know that when the essay is related to society, so somehow all the 10 essay, they can share one common idea, right? So this is very important to learn what kind of essays can come under such topics, what can be the subtopics, the essays itself, and what are the common ideas with which I can fit in any essay related to technology, any essay related to society, any essay related to sports, right? Any essay related to the education. So this is your homework you have to do, right? So these are the two things where, like, how you can collect ideas for the essays. So this is how you can do that. This is the implementation of the same thing which I just said. Paraphrasing, like when you don't know how to paraphrase, this is the best way. Like the later part, there is a fear that minority languages may die out. It will come in the previous position. There is a fear that many minority languages may die out. And the previous part, it goes to the later position, that as languages such as Spanish, Chinese, and English have become more widely used, right? Now, if I know few of the synonyms and the rest I don't know, then what you can do, follow the same technique, change the word order, like the later bring to former, former bring to later, but add few of the synonyms as well. Like there is a dismay that many lesser used languages there is a dismay that many lesser used languages may pass away as languages such as Chinese, English, and Spanish become more broadly spoken. So broadly spoken becomes widely used. That means widely used becomes broadly spoken. Languages may pass away, may die out, minority language, lesser used language, right? So this is the way you can opt up, and this is the best one. This one is the best solution for paraphrasing, because sometimes we don't know the word for every word in the statement, and this is quite common. It's the case with majority of the students. So you should be just picking a few of the synonyms, you know, right? And then changing the position of the statement. The former part brings to the later part, later brings it to the formal position. That's how you can paraphrase, and there won't be any reduction of the marks as well, right? Otherwise, you know that if you're writing this statement in the same way with the same words, you won't be getting marks and your vocabulary score will be deducted. That's the second parameter, right? Okay, so this is an example of the introduction done. Paraphrasing, like paraphrase, thesis statement, outline statement, right? So this is what I mean when I say the structure and the sentence is mentioned. You can read it. You can quickly have a reading of it. I'm taking a minute break here so that you can read it. So just read the question, read how the statement is done with the paraphrasing, thesis, and outline one. Read it through. When you're done reading, tell me. So you done reading? Guys, you done reading this one? You there with me? Say yes or no. Okay, you can't unmute you. Oh, sorry. I just okay. Sorry. I just forgot about that. Okay. Let me just okay, now you can unmute you. I'm really sorry about that. I just because there were students who were not muting them, so that's why I did that. Now you
Yeah.
can unmute.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
we just
So
read the last sentence. Yeah.
read it through how you
This is-
can make three statements. The statement is
Yeah.
the question is here. That means only the statement part I'm taking here. This is the paraphrasing of the same, right? So you see the rising global temperature and human health and fitness issues, which is in the later part. I brought in them in the former part, viewed as being caused by expanding use of automobiles. So there is a deal of evidence, good deal of that increasing car use is contributing to this problem. So I just brought this one to the later part. I dragged it to the former part. Thesis statement, it says that this essay agrees that, like this essay is agreeing that the increases use of the motor vehicles is contributing to, now you don't have to write it again. So maybe you can just write in contributing to both these issues mentioned, right? So this will not repeat the vocabulary here. Now, outline statement, I told you, you can put up your main key ideas here in the outline statement, which says, firstly, this essay will discuss the production of greenhouse gases by vehicles. And secondly, it will discuss other toxic chemical released by internal combustion engines. So you know that now the production of greenhouse gases, it is affecting the global temperatures, and the toxic chemicals, it is definitely having the adverse effect on the human health. So the things or the ideas we're going to discuss, they are related to the problem mentioned, right? So moving on, this is the supporting paragraph. Now this is how you are done with doing with your supporting paragraph. The topic sentence, the very first sentence in your supporting paragraph should be the topic. Then each paragraph should have one main idea, and the topic sentence tell the reader what the idea is, right? and then this make your paragraph and the whole essay clear and easier to read. You will gain marks for coherence in the IELTS writing test if you do so. So now maybe you're just writing, like this is the example, like raising fuel prices is the best option because it would lower demand. Now you see this sentence, it have a topic that raising fuel prices is the best option. So that means I'm in favor of that, and what it will do, it will lower the demand, right? Now this essay is going to about the same condition, same position. So now it makes the these paragraphs very clear and logical and easier to read for the examiner. That's what examiner wants from you, a topic, a discussion of that, an example of that. Now how this can be done? This is because the laws of economics dictate that the higher the price of a commodity, comma, the lower the consumption of that product, and this will lead to less people using vehicle. So topic sentence, explanation of that, result of that, there comes the example. For instance, when the price of fuel skyrocketed during the oil crisis in 1970, right? There was a huge reduction in the amount of cars on the road, right? So this is the best possible way you can write up the second paragraph, which is body paragraph. All right. Now the another thing, should I move it?
Yes, okay.
Okay, and then comes the conclusion, right? So the conclusion, there are the few things you need to keep in mind, that never write any new idea in your conclusion, first thing, and make sure you answer the question in the conclusion. So if they're asking your opinion, so conclusion is the place to give that opinion, right? Vary your language. You're restating the same ideas as you discussed in the rest of the essay. So you have to vary the language. You have to use the different words here. I'll show you how you can do that. Don't try to include everything. Now it's not a body paragraph where you are just explaining, giving supporting details and all. It just need to be very crisp and clear, or in one or two sentences. Never miss writing conclusion, because you need to have you need to have one conclusion for sure for every essay you are writing. Otherwise your essay won't be considered completed one, right? So if you are in hurry, at least write one sentence, and other than that, two sentences are enough, right? Now the conclusion, you need to start it with the in conclusion or to conclude. So use either of these two linking words connectors and start your conclusion, and this is how you can write the conclusion as well. So this is an introduction, and as per the introduction, you are just framing a conclusion here. So it says, it is argued that students should be taught real life skills. So in conclusion, this essay supports the idea that, now here we saying argue that, but here after discussing, after supporting this idea, I'm concluding it up that this essay support the idea that teenager ought to be taught financial subject, should be taught real life skills, ought to be taught functional subject. Sounding same, meaning same, but different words. Like how to look after money, like financial planning, right? Now this essay agreed that they should be part of the curriculum. This essay will first discuss how everyday competencies benefit people later in life, and then talk about the dangers of not being taught how to manage money at an early age. Now here what we are writing, because it helps them in adulthood, later in life, adulthood, and lack of education. That means if you are not just learning these things related to these topics, can have serious consequences. So here dangers like serious consequences. So this is how you are paraphrasing, restating the same thing of the whole essay, which will act as a summary, as a conclusion to the whole essay, using different vocabulary but restating the same idea already discussed, right? So this is how, like, if you are making a perfect introduction, then you can easily make a perfect conclusion, right? Because they are very much alike. Here it is argued, but here we have just discussed and we just said that this is very nice thing to do. So this essay supports the idea. So this is how the words will change, and rest of the words you can paraphrase them, right? So this is the essay, and in case word limit is not achieved, you can simply write a prediction or recommendation in any of the essay. Just in case any of the essay you just lacking in words, this is that's not up to the 250, you are just lacking by 10, 12, 15 words, so maybe you can write a prediction there, you can write a recommendation there. It will drag your word limit to 250, which is much required. You cannot write below 250, you cannot type, you cannot write below than 250, and every word is counted. If you're writing if, it will be counted as one word. So don't worry about the word limit too much, because ultimately when you are just following the structures, you are just competing with the word limit easily, right? So I'm stopping it here. So sharing the screen again with different set of the essays. Right, so here on the screen, first read out what you can see related to technology. So now this time you guys will be starting reading. Okay, so first, Sheetal, just read the first essay, what it
Yeah,
says.
technology topic. Some people think that robots are important for humans' future development. Other thinks that robots have negative effects on society. Discuss both views and give your opinion.
All right. So now you have read the statement. It says that robots are important for human future development. Some people believe that, and other think that they have negative effect on society, right? We have to discuss both views. So it is a discussion essay, and we also have to give our opinion as well. That means give your opinion as well. Now the ideas are ideas, how we can think of the ideas. So first of all, it states that definitely important, like the first people who believe that they are important. So why we think definitely important? Because they are helpful in big advancements. Definitely the robots, they can help us in the big advancements and the big technological advancements, right? They can increase the productivity. So obviously a human, there is a limit to the capability of the human, and when it comes to the physical work, but when it comes to the robots, so there is no limitation. So productivity increase, definitely more intelligence, like definitely the the robots, they are just having that feeded information and knowledge with them, but ultimately if we are just writing positive, so we can just caught up with this idea as well, that the intelligence will be more, so there will be less chance of mistakes, right? Then machine learning and artificial intelligence, etc., this is what we will be having in the future if we are just keeping them intact with our life. We just taking help of them, or we are just making them involved in our life, right? And how we can write about the negative effects, that first of all, if we are just taking help from the robot, so what will happen? So definitely a robot can take up the work of 10 human beings, right? So definitely there will be, first thing, unemployment, right? And automation is the first field where there will be loss of jobs, where there is a fitting of cars, cleaning of cars, such kind of work which is related to automotive industry. The first, there will be huge loss in that industry, because robot can have that instruction feeded into them, and they can just simply do that work very easily and very efficiently and fastly as compared to the humans with less of errors, right? Safe nets need not to be placed. Definitely, if you talk about some other industries, suppose the construction or such works where there is a lot of physical danger, obviously it will cut cost. If we are working with the robots, we don't have to play the safe nets and anything like that. So definitely it is like a kind of thing which will ultimately become the second second state of the essay. Welfare system, etc. That welfare system, how we can say this will have effect on welfare system of the society, because we are not giving opportunity for people to earn and live their life smoothly, and we are just giving them a competition towards, like competition with the robot, not a human being. So that's why it will not be a positive effect. In any case, it is going to be a negative effects, right? So there are too many advantages to ignore. There are too many advantages to ignore. We cannot forego these advances. However, more precautions and government legislation could be wise. So that means there are more advantages of getting robots into the future development of the human. There are more positive effects of that, and we cannot ignore them. But definitely there should be, like the conclusion, definitely there should be a lot of precaution which need to be taken, and there should be a government rules, regulation, and legislation that need to be implemented before opting that technology into work life and to the normal human life, right? Okay, so the next question, who is going to read? It's about society. Read this one by yourself. Just read yourself.
Can I read?
Yes, sure.
Some people think that new houses should be built in the same style as old houses in the local area. Others disagree and say that local authorities should allow people to build houses in the styles of their own choice. Discuss both views and give your opinion.
Okay, so this is the essay. This is about society. What it says that some people think that new houses should be in the same style as the older one in the local areas, and other thing, no, they are disagree with this thing, and they say the local authority should allow people to build houses in the styles of their own choice, right? Now we have to discuss what is the thing if they will be making the houses as the older style. What are the pros, cons, or benefit, negatives, positives of that, and what are the other thing why people think that no, they should be allowed to build new style houses and everything. And then we have to give the opinion as well. Now, yes, you should be in the same style. Why? It keeps property values higher, right? Now all the houses, they are in same style, they built in a same manner, so definitely they will be having a same price, right? Suppose some person came and he built a more like 2-story 3 building house, and definitely that price will be higher of that property as compared to the properties which are just having a single floor, right? So definitely to keep property values higher and equal, it's important that they should be following the same style of the building, right? Then uniformity. Now if you see in a lane, like the all houses, they are built in the same style, maybe they are just 2-story houses and all are 2-story houses, so it gives a uniformity, and it gives a feels good feeling, and definitely it looks very symmetrical, right? Conformity, right? Definitely when everybody knows that everybody has same alike kind of houses, so there is nothing kind of superiority or being at a lower position kind of feeling. So definitely it's give a comfort to the society living in the same area, right? And cohesion, definitely there is a like for example, certain villages in prosperous parts of England such as Cheshire, the Cotswold, and the Howard have extreme rules because the areas have immense cultural heritage. To place a modern McDonald's style restaurant in one of these areas would be tantamount to architectural vandalism. So it's like sometime the cities, the areas, the places, they are very rich in the cultural heritage, buildings, or the places, or the architectural style, or maybe of architectural style of the whole city. So just building by their own choice, like adding maybe some people, okay, there is a limit to the area you can build house on, but if you have a own choice, like maybe I guess I just buy the double area as compared to the previously built houses, and definitely I'm just ruining the architectural style of that place, and maybe I'm just causing a threat to the buildings which are which is a cultural heritage, right? So there is a proper rule and regulation for those areas. So this is one example you can put up if such question is there, right? Now the another part, we kindly read this one. The great idea innovates an area, like the another thing why the people should be allowed to. Yes, Abdul, you can read that, Alim.
Right. Great idea innovates an area, introduces new flavors, styles, and ideas to stale and old areas. Your house can reflect your personality, You can make it more environmentally friendly, and you can install technical innovations, solar panels, or even solar cells in roof tiles available from Elon Musk's company.
Mm-hmm. So you see here why it is like why people other disagree and what could be the possible reasons behind that. That if you are making a different architectural style building in the society in the local area, so definitely it innovates the area. It give the area a new look, right? Definitely it introduce new flavors. Like maybe there are new style of the buildings which are very much prominent in the other society, other countries, and you are bringing that style to your own place, definitely bringing new flavors and definitely bringing new ideas. And the previous houses, they don't have much of the sunlight areas or the open areas, but the new styles, they're coming up with more of the lot of open spaces in the house with the lot of sunlight and the ventilation system, good ventilation system. So all these things are good for people living in the house, and definitely for all the people it could act as a uh, benchmark. Okay, now this is what we can also opt for, right? And the second thing, the house, they reflect your personality. So if any person is making a house, definitely she has her own ideas into it. Like, this is what I want in my house. Here I have such area with a lot of greenery. Here I have this place. Here I have a pool or something like that. So it's a reflection of one's personality. Definitely this should be, the local authority should allow people to design their own dream homes. So second, third thing, you can make it more environmental friendly. So if you are just planting more trees, more you are just adding up the grass to your house, and you're just making it very good in the ventilation and the sunlight, it can comes to the all area of your house. So definitely you are just doing a good thing to the environment as well, right? You can install technical innovation. So the older innovations or the older buildings, they don't have possibility of installing the solar panels on that, right? But if the government is, or the local authorities council are allowing people to build houses of their choice, so definitely they can build up in accordance with the solar panels, like where they can just use the solar energy for their common house purposes. And definitely it will also act as an environment friendly initiative, right? So this is like Elon Musk, you don't have to write it, you can add up any company here if you want to give example. So the conclusion is both are viable and fair. Like the both things, you see, they are viable and fair. The caveat is that the law should be clear from the beginning and be permanent. Changing it would be extremely unfair. Now, the thing is, both things are okay. Now, if the situation is like in some country, if the situation is you cannot make house as of your choice, they should be of the same style. So it should be kept in that way only. That's more fair. That's more eligible. And if it's like you can build up house by your own choice, own budget, own on innovations and designs, then it should be like that. That means there should be no change. That comes as my opinion here. And I guess this clears this essay well. And if you have this essay in your IELTS exam, you're very clear what to write, how to add an example, and how to conclude it now. Alim, yes.
I wanted to ask, like, if our opinions, like conclusion, can it be biased, like based on any topic?
Like the biased opinions.
Yeah, is it possible to give out biased opinions?
Definitely. It's like my opinion could be like, yes, the government, the local authorities, they should give provision to people to build their own houses as per their own choices. So maybe I can write this as well. So it's like that's what I have written. The conclusion, maybe your conclusion is different from mine. It's okay, but yeah, ideas, I guess they are, you can write these ideas as well. They are pretty much good, relevant, and example is also good. Yeah, conclusion, you can be of either side as well as per your opinion, or maybe you can just be on like both are viable and fair. This is like a taking a very balanced position, or maybe I can be no, the older style, or no, the unique new style, right? Okay, so read the next essay here, which is related to sports. Okay, read it out. Okay, I just dragged it up. Sorry. Okay, somebody read it.
Some people spend a lot of money attending cultural or sport events. Is it a good or a bad thing? Give your opinion and examples from your own experience.
Okay, so it says that some people spend a lot of money attending cultural or sports events. So good or bad thing, opinion, examples with your own experience, right? So here, first it says the body paragraph 1 after the introduction, definitely a good development, right? Give something for people to aspire to, right? If you're attending a cultural event, if you're attending a sports event, so definitely there is a lot of inspirations around you where you can aspire yourself and you can think positive things in your life. You can set goals or something like that, right? It also most likely begets higher revenues for the performers and promoters. Definitely if more people are attending these events, like so the more higher revenues will be given, that means the more income will be generated for the performers and the promoters, which should ultimately lead to an even more event. So definitely there will be such, if they are getting the good share of organizing any event, that could be cultural or sports, so definitely they will be arranging, or they will be planning for such more events, and definitely that will give ourselves a chance to enjoy, to rejoice, and to spend quality time with our loved ones, and to give opportunities around to just go and live the life, like breaking the monotony of the life, right? This undoubtedly leads to greater monetary and cultural wealth for a society. Now, definitely, it will give the monetary benefits, the cultural wealth for a society, the place it is organized. Suppose it's a cultural event, so it's gonna be organized definitely from some cultural authorities, right? And if it's a local, so that money can be utilized in a purposes for the better cultural developments in the society as well, maybe locally, maybe internationally, nationally, right? So this is the thing. Take for example, now here the English Premier League. This entertainment spectacle has brought considerable wealth into cities as Manchester, Liverpool, and London. We all know that, right? Higher ticket prices lead to better wages for football stars, which lead to more quality players wanting to play in the EPL, right? Leading to a considerable increase in high net worth individuals residing in these cities. There has undoubtedly been a positive self-fulfilling cycle of improvement and quality, fueled by increasing prices, right? Now we know that. Now this example, Jalza, very nicely. Now writing this example is actually elaborating your viewpoints as well, right? We have three things here. Aspire, like begets higher revenue for promoter performance, right? Leading to more events, and then leading to greater monetary and cultural wealth for a society. Premier League, which I like the most. All right. Right, so you see here how many benefits it have. When it is organized, so it is giving wealth to these cities. Definitely, it has brought. They have brought these cities up in the monetary sources list. They have come up like in the top position. We all know these cities, and everybody is aware about them. The players play in these leagues, and obviously these are like high net, it increases the high net worth individuals residing in these cities, so definitely it brings fame to those particular areas as well, right? And positive self-fueling cycle of improvement and quality, definitely it prevails that to the society as well. When you look someone playing, having such net worth and bringing fame to the society, local and the local residents, so definitely it is just fueling you up positively, right? So furthermore, high prices will most likely mean higher tax revenues for the government. This is definitely beneficial for the society. So the more they will be earning, the performers, the promoters, the more they will be generating, giving the tax to the government, and definitely that comes back to the betterment of the society, right? Guys, understood?
Yes.
Yeah. And the paragraph 2, same but apply to a cultural event. Now we have just talked about EPL, Premier League, right? A football thing. Now, like sports thing, now we are just talking about the cultural event in the same thing, like in the second paragraph as well, the same way we discussed that, same way this one. And you can talk about the ballet, the opera, whatever you feel the cultural event you can relate better to, right? All right. So this is like, you see the question is like that these bring good things. So I'm just saying it brings good things, right? So that's the explanation of mine. This is the example, like, and that same thing we will be following with the cultural events as well. I hope you understood. And obviously the conclusion, it will be restating the same idea, being in the one boat only. So good or bad, that mean if I have just taken positive position, I need to just talk the positive for the both paragraphs. Can you please give me a second here? Sorry for that. All right. So who is reading this one? Do you think it is better for students to work before the universities? That's the same one we discussed. And I think we don't have to discuss this one as we already, but you can look into the example here, because the when it comes to the example, students find it really hard, like how we can just write one example. So it says studies from the UK government shows graduate with work experience are twice as likely to find employment, right? Now, if the students, they are taking a year gap and they are then continuing their university studies. So there was a survey conducted in the UK government conducted a survey, studies they have conducted, and they show the graduate with work experience are twice as likely to find employment. Now this goes very well when you're giving a positive answer, like yes, the students, they should be have a year gap before they're continuing with the university studies and ending their high schools, right? So this example gels up here well. And then the second one, it is actually definitely this is kind of the same thing we are following, the same structure, like yes, they have to have that time before they're starting the university study or something. So it is also, there is another example, 1/6 students will change their higher education. This means that the students who just simply just they don't have knowledge, they don't know their interest, or because the being into high schools, it's not like there is no much exposure there, right? So when they are just having that there, they can explore their inner interest, which subjects they want to get their higher education in. So if that is not the case, so there was a thing like the 1/6 students, they change their course of study in between, because they just take it, like their friends take it, their family suggested, they just heard it somewhere, okay, I'll be doing the accountancy, and meanwhile while doing it, feels like no, this is not my kind of cup of tea, obviously dropping it off, picking some another one. So this actually wastes time, money, sources, like many things. So it's like better to have that gap, like expose yourself to life and then decide where I am fixing myself in the career ahead, right? I guess this is very clear, right? Next one, read it please. Many people believe that it's better to learn something in group rather than individually. Do you agree or disagree? Now, group learning and individual learning. So first thing, agree, that learning in group has many advantages. Elements of teamwork can be adopted. Now obviously learning in group works give us more knowledge, more ideas, more examples, right? And then we learn teamwork as well. So it's like definitely it is improving our personality as well, our social skill as well, right? We are we are preparing ourselves for a professional life as well, right? Group can utilize each other personal expertise that comes into the ideas, examples, discussing, sharing views, sharing experiences, right? And then disagree. Individualism is better. Why? Self-reliant. The person obviously learning alone and learning even some tactic or some work. If he's learning alone, definitely he'll be more self-reliant, right? And he owns the result. If it's got positive, he is the one to responsible to blame. I mean, just in case of negative, wants to blame or wants to give credit to. So it like person individually doing anything is responsible for the work done, and he or she owns the result. Now it's like you're working in a team, you will be definitely, obviously that's how team works, right? One person is dependent on another, another on another. So it's like one person in a team, it's like no one to depend on. So it's like wholly solely you are responsible for everything to be done in a timely manner, in a nice, in an accurate manner, right? More mature, definitely it will bring more maturity to you. You are given a project, you have to see another 3-4 aspects into that. You are meeting new people, you are just arranging those tools required, you are just thinking of how it can be done in a less of time. So it's like definitely making you a more mature and more responsible, right? And no legacy. Now it's not like that I'm just shrinking off my shoulder, I mean responsibility to the another person, like this is delay because he is not doing the work and he is late, he is like didn't bring up the things required. So it's like there won't be anything to shrink off the responsibility. So definitely that's more better, right? So maybe you can pick up any position here, agree or disagree, and you can talk about more. And I think individual we can write more, even we can write more here as well. So it's like personal choice, right? You feeling it helpful, right, guys?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's very good.
All right, so okay, I just missed one, I guess. Here it is. It says education and to the child. Okay, read this topic, please. Anyone?
Some people believe that children should do organized activities in their free time, while others believe that children should be free to do what they want to do in their free time. Which viewpoint do you agree with? Use specific reasons and examples to support your answer.
All right. So here, if we are writing that children are free to choose, suppose we are just going with this answer. So the paragraph will say in favor of letting them choose, what will be writing? That obviously it will give them opportunity to just think out of the box and expose themselves to the life and to think like what they want to do with their life, right? So benefits letting the mind wander. Definitely it will, obviously it increase their abilities, their mental abilities as well. Now children can express themselves. So if they are not given a chance, they just given a task, okay, you have to do this, right? And it's like that you didn't give an opportunity to speak to them like what you want. Definitely they will be least expressive in the childhood and in later in life, and they will suppress their emotions, they will suppress their desires, wants, which is actually not good for a better development of a child. So it makes child expressive when we give them chance to do what they want to do, right? Find themselves. Definitely when they are exploring, when they're thinking, okay, what I'm opting, definitely they will be thinking as per their interest. So they are just finding themselves where they belongs to, in which field, they are artistic nature, they are technical nature, they are just some engineering kind of thing they want to do. So it's like they can find themselves where they relate, right? Do what they prefer and excel. Definitely when you are doing something you like, definitely you excel in that field. Ultimately if you give me a task and I'm not happy about it, I'm just not doing it, with the full enthusiasm. Definitely I'll be just doing it for the sake of doing. So definitely I won't be excelling in that field. but you do give me some work and I'm like very happy about it, right? So definitely the chances of excelling in any art, any work, anything is more when you are doing by your own choice, right? Now example here, recent studies shows 12% of school students dislike physical education. Therefore, if sports were chosen, it would be unfair for this minority. Now it's not important that every children liking physical education, you know that this is a subject, right? So it shows that that is a nice example. The study show that 12% of students, they don't like physical education. So suppose if for every student it is necessary, so it will be really unfair to that minority. If they don't like it, they should not be sent to any physical sports activity, education activity, because they don't belong to that category, that education sector or that particular zone, right? So it is like, this is example you can fit up here. The another part, reasons against organized activity, again in the favor of let them do what they want to, free to do. Like organizing activities costly for student, for school. Now suppose they have organized a music camp, right? Now all the students, they don't want to participate, so definitely there will be very less attendance in that. So ultimately what will happen, the event will be costly for the school, student appear there, maybe they just generating revenue by different activities they have mentioned there. So it's like definitely it will be very costly for the organizer, and here we can say school need time to plan, right? Obviously the time invested in organizing different activities for the students, not knowing their interests, their hobbies, their field of getting knowledge, so it will be just wasting that but precious time that you can utilize somewhere else. Possible equipment to purchase, so maybe you are just planning on the music, so you are going for, the school is going for the many of the musical instrument, but the students, they tend up to be only 20 out of the 100. So this is how it is actually costing money. Furthermore, studies show that the brain operates better after a distraction from a structured task such as studying. So suppose like this is the example in the second paragraph you can put up, that the brain operates better after a distraction from a structure. So when there is a structure, when you are told like you have to enter there, you have to select an instrument, you need to sit down there, then you need to play this tune on that, right? And you need to play for 5 minutes, and then you are just coming down the AL, right? So maybe it's like that. So it's kind of very structured thing. So it's like the brain, it doesn't operate that much better because there is no responsibility. It's just like following the instruction. So ultimately the student will become a follower, not the leader, if we are just doing that. We can add this up as well. All right, and I hope this is very good points for this paragraph, right? Okay, so the next one, who's reading this one? Aleem, can you read that?
Sure, ma'am. Ideas for body paragraph 1. Should select students on their academic ability. Good idea, because same speed for the whole class, can go as fast as possible. Selecting on their academic abilities. Clearly
you have to read the essay first. This is different
Oh,
essay.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. This is different essay.
Right. So some people think that schools should select students according to their academic abilities. Others believe that it is better to have students with different abilities study together. Discuss both views and give your opinion.
All right. Now, as you just read the ideas as well, so why the school should select students on their academic ability? Why? Because obviously, suppose the students, they are very good in mathematics. All the students they have kept in this class, they are very good in mathematics, and definitely there will be same speed for the whole class. It's not like that there are students who are weak in studies and they're taking more time to understand the given situation on the board. So it's like everybody will be working on the same speed. So it will speed up the process, it will speed up the learning, it will save time. So this will be the things if you are just selecting the student with the same abilities in one class, right? So it's like selecting on their academic ability is the much fairer option. For example, if a student has behaved badly the entire year and subsequently got lower grades, why should that student be placed in a class with hard-working, dedicated students, right? So now if a student who is non-serious in the studies, and the students, there is a group of students which are like the one who are very hardworking, dedicated toward their studies and got very good grades as compared to that particular student. Now why that student should be given the equal opportunities to the students who worked really hard? That will set a bad example, that whether you study hard, whether you just roam here and there and behave badly, still you will be just promoted to the next class, and you will be get chance to sit in the with all those students, right? So it will demotivate them somewhere. So this is an example you can put up here, why select student according to their academic abilities. Furthermore, studies show that schools who make classes based on ability have much statistically higher levels of student satisfaction. Now the students who are of same ability, somehow they will be learning from each other much more efficiently, effectively, as compared to the students who are lower in the academic abilities and the students who are higher in academic abilities. So there will be no balance in their learning, right? So definitely this is one thing we can put up as an example. Or maybe we are just explaining this further with this one. We just stated this example, and then we are further saying the result kind of statement, right? Now, different abilities studying together. I mean, the students who are not equal, maybe some students, they are very fast learners, some are slow, some are lethargic, some are lazy. So what will happen? Bad idea, because language learning, different ability. Okay, now suppose this is a language class going on, and all the students, they are of they are sitting there in class, are having a different abilities of learning. So the students just started with the chapter. Some are readily getting what the teacher is saying and learning very fastly. Some are quite slow. So definitely it will just uh, uh, it will just, what will it do? It will waste time, first of all, right? And it will demotivate the students who are learning fast. They will feel like there is no fun of learning the things quickly, because we are just suffering the same time, right? And the students who are quick learners, or maybe the teacher is moving along with those students, so what happened? The other students, they can feel left out, they will be feeling bored, they will be losing interest in the subject. So some which are like severely challenged and is given up, they feel like, okay, now this is not my cup of tea, because they are understanding very quickly and I'm not getting it out at all, right? So this demotivates them. For example, a report into a traditional classroom language environment showed much better to choose specialist online courses where the student work at their own speed. Now, this is the example. That report into a traditional classroom language environment showed the adverse results for the mixed ability students, and they proposed that it is much better to choose specialist online courses where the student work at their own speeds for the better learning, better and fast learning, right? And the conclusion to the same one will be selecting students. You see here, selecting students based on ability not improve class effectiveness, student happiness, but also increase engagement. Therefore, it is predicted that it should be. So definitely the same ability student, it not only improve the class effectiveness, it also act as the element in the student happiness. It also increase the engagement, like, okay, now he has learned, I'll be just learning it too quickly, right? And therefore it is predicted that this is good to place students in a same ability classes. Or maybe you can just talk about like in a different in a different situation as well. No, this is not a right idea. Okay, now this is related to globalization. Here is the statement. Okay, this is going to be the last essay we will be discussing now. Okay, read the statement, please. Shan.
Uh, Many people say that globalization and the growing number of multinational companies have a negative effect on the environment. Which viewpoint do you agree with? Use specific reasons and examples to support your answer. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Use specific reasons and examples to support your position.
All right, so it says that many people say the globalization, we know that globalization, what it is, like the movement of the people and the goods to one country to another. and the growing number of MNC have a negative effect on the environment. So this movement of the goods and the people and the increasing number of the MNC, this all affected the environment badly. This is the people believe. So what do you think? Do you agree with this, right? And this could be in two ways the question can be asked, like just a moment. I'm really sorry, I have to sneeze. All right, so it can be asked in two ways, like which viewpoint do you agree with? Use specific reason and example to support your answer. Or it can be either asked negative effect on the environment, to what extent do you agree or disagree? Right, I hope it's clear now. Right, so paragraph 1, it says definitely it's damaging the environment. How? Increased interaction between the countries. Definitely, how it can be possible? It is only possible by the different means of the transportation, say air, road, water, right? So what is happening? We are using all the natural, we are involving all the natural resources into the way we commute. So definitely it's damaging them. We all agree on that, and we can simply add up any example very easily here. Increase in goods and services traded, this means more production. So definitely if we are just having this exchange of the goods between the countries, which we call import and export, so there will be definitely increased production. That's why we do it. It increases revenues, profits to the countries, and then ultimately to the tax, then ultimately to the society. But all these means that we are also utilizing the resources more, we are doing the more production, more pollution, right? And we are just consuming the sources at a larger rate, right? For example, China workshop of the world, there was a workshop held, many places air pollution masks needed. Now it's like previously nobody wears mask. Now this is very common now, but this is an example which is not built now. But you see, previously not you are not viewing people wearing masks except China, right? But after that globalization thing happened, they just started this import to the another, export to the other countries. So it just increases the production, and then it creates more litter at the same time, and it also using the, it is kind of using the more resources. So this is also one example you can cite here. Or maybe you can think of any product, pick it up, or just think about it, how it has increased in the production in few years, what kind of sources it is using, and what kind of litter it is creating, right? Then multinational companies. So it comes like, yes, it is increasing pollution, right? And how? Definitely the MNC, that means there is an organization which set up a whole project in some other country, right? That's we call the multinational company, where the different people work together, and that is not company which is only specific to the home place or the place it is built on. It needs construction, it uses the sources over there, and definitely it is creating pollution, the construction work, right? So this is also not in favor of the environment. Globalization require global solution, right? These can have drastic consequences if accidents happen, right? So globalization, that means producing more goods, services for the import and export, right? So there is definitely accidents can also happen if there is a more production. How? Like this is one thing which happened in the Gulf of Mexico, right? There was a blast, and there was oil it just spilled over the that place, that is Gulf of Mexico. And what happened? It just destroyed the local ecosystem. Definitely any oil spillage is not good for the environment, say it water, say it air, say it the land, the soil itself. So and for the animals itself, the bird itself, so it just destroyed the local ecosystem. So any example related to any asset related to globalization, you're thinking about it, like how you can give an example here that it is bad for the environment. You can always cite this example, that there was an oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico, and this accident happened due to the more production, and it just destroyed the whole of the local ecosystem of that place. And still there are There are things which are happening in a bad way just because of that accident, right? So maybe just you can write it like that, right? Is that good, guys? Okay, so okay, let's do one more. Okay, read this one. And this is, I guess, we will be covering up in another 5 minutes. Yeah.
Scientists believe that in order to protect the environment, people must use less energy in their daily lives. However, most people have not changed the way they live. Why do you think many people have not taken individual action? What could be done to encourage them to take action?
So it says that in order to protect the environment, people must use less energy, right, in their daily lives. So, however, most people have not changed the way they live. Definitely, we all are here and accountable. And why do you think many people have not taken individual action? What are the reasons why people are not taking individually actions? And what could be done to encourage them to do that? So there are 4 things in the same statement, right? Now, not taking the individual action, why? First question is why they are not taking any individual action? Because danger not immediately or directly facing them. You know that if we just talk about the pollution we are creating by using the electronic devices at the home, how many electronic devices we are just using for the daily purposes of the kitchen only. You see, there are many air fryers are there, then every other device we are using and we plugging into the electricity. So it's like we are not facing the dangers directly. We cannot see how much the dioxide or the carbon monoxide it is creating, the working of that machine, how much CO2 it is adding to the environment, and how adversely it is going to affect us. So this is kind of a long process, and it is not a direct danger to them, so they don't feel like they are doing anything wrong and they need to take an action in solving the problem, right? First thing is that. Second is tragedy of the commons. So it's like normally there is why I have written like that, the tragedy of the commons. You ask any commoner, okay, why you're not taking an action, including us as well. So we will say, now it's like definitely doing me alone won't make any changes in the society, right? First thing. And second thing, okay, I'm so busy, I have this, why shouldn't why and I don't have the time to think about the environment now. I do have my own problems. This is the tragedy of the common thing. We can write this as well. Collective problem, easier to shrink responsibility. Now somebody comes to me and asks like, why you're not taking the individual action? I will say, okay, now this is not my responsibility. The whole, you talk to whole society. When everyone person around me will be just taking care of that, I will also start doing it. So it's like easy to shrink responsibility. I hope you get that all right. And ideas for body paragraph 2, what could be done to encourage them? Now the second question comes here. Media campaigns by the government showing them the dangers they are not facing directly but indirectly. What is that and how bad it is, that how badly it's going to affect them, their generations to coming up, right? And every other being on the earth, right? And then tax or financial incentives, right? Definitely the households which are using less energy, right, they should be given some tax, what we say, that they should be given some provision in that they are paying less, right? Or maybe they're just giving any incentives by the government, like, yes, you just saved energy this time, now this is your incentive in terms of money, in terms of some prize, in terms of some tickets, something like that, right? So example, in Tokyo, it is much prevalent practice that the households which are in Tokyo, the household which produce less, they use less energy, they are given the tax benefits, they are giving the tax incentives. So you can talk about that example here. Okay, so this is all the essays we have discussed now today, and I believe the essay we have discussed, you are not going to forget the ideas example mentioned in them. And if you have any essay in your exam out of these ones, definitely it will be really easy for you to just write the whole thing related to that. Am I right? Okay, So you see, when it is writing
Yeah.
class, students are like, oh, no, we're not doing that writing. I don't know why this is.
Example, yeah.
Okay,
Idea
actually
in
your
your
voice
mind
is
for
really bad.
relevant example.
Okay, the
Oh,
problem
sorry.
comes with the example, yeah, and these example actually tell you how you
Yeah.
can create example for the other essays as well.
Yeah, like create a story, relevant story to the
Exactly,
idea.
create a
If we
relevant
not
story
get
to the
the
task discussed
yeah,
and keep it realistic as well.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So I hope this is
Yeah.
going to help you all, and any question related to the essays we discussed or the things we discussed earlier are welcome. If you want to ask, just ask me now.
Yeah. We can do for part 1 as well. No.
Actually, Sheetal, your voice is really, it's not good. It's breaking. So I'm not able to hear it properly. What are you saying? I don't know why this is, but this is how it is happening.
Yeah, today's is connection problem today. So
Yeah, I can see that you were just lost around in the session and then
can you
you
hear
joined
me?
again. Yeah, I can.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's a good to like we can read the essay what you taught and read about one by one person. So same as we can realize the idea and register in our idea. So
Okay, I just come up with the statements only and you guys are giving me idea and examples. That's what you are saying? I think that's what you are saying. Because the thing is that, Sheetal, I'm not able to hear you exactly. I'm really sorry about that, but it is just connectivity issue. Okay, I'm just muting you. Okay, mute yourself. Okay, Sheetal, I'm not able to hear you. I'm sorry. This is maybe due to bad connection.
Oh,
Okay,
sorry.
so
Okay, no.
it's clearly fine. We can talk this later tomorrow. All right, so guys, this is the end of the session, and I hope to see you tomorrow all. And tomorrow we will be doing the reading, I guess, or maybe we just continuing with a few of the speaking questions as well. Meanwhile, right? That's all for today, and thank you very much for being here. And that's all.
Thank you
And
very
yeah,
much.
See you tomorrow.
sorry, Thai, what you asking?
In the writing essay, how far can we go less or more over the limitation, the word
The
limitation?
word limitation is 250. You cannot write minimum, you cannot write 249 words, you cannot write 260 words. So 250 to 260. Just finish it off there. And as close as to 250. So 250, 251, you cannot write less than 250, right? But 250, 1, 2, 3, 4, try to finish it off there only.
Right.
Right, all right. All right, so all right, I guess no questions. All right, so bye-bye. Yeah, take care, guys. So bye-bye. See you tomorrow. Yeah.
Bye bye.
Okay.
Thank you.
And kindly do the reviews. Yeah. All right.
Mhm.
Bye-bye. See ya. Take care, guys.